Hello and welcome back to another episode of European Autocraft Studios 944 Turbo Project. This might look a little familiar. This is our heater matrix, heater, air conditioning, climate control matrix, plenum, some people call it. We don't have the blower on here. We're going to take this thing completely apart to clean it and put new foam on the doors. Let's see how they all work inside. I've never had one apart. You probably haven't either. Why would you take it apart? They never seem to fail. The servos always work. The evaporators never seem to fail. The heater cores don't leak. But we want to get it apart and clean it because this is a full restoration, at least as far as we can go without getting the body work done. So we're going to attempt to get this apart. I've never taken one apart, so let's get started. Over here somewhere. I think I can get this stuff out of the way, and I'll show you. I'll turn it around as we go. It's kind of light, so I don't have to have Nick moving all over the place. This might take 3 episodes. We're going to get it apart, see how long it takes, clean it, and then next week we'll be refoaming some of the doors and getting it back together slowly. We'll see how that works. Then we're going to get on to the wiring harness that I showed you last time. I need to put in the new wiring for the resistors, wrap that up. I'm trying to get another wiring harness because some of those little clips are breaking. I'll get another wiring harness for parts, basically. And when I'm done with it, if any of you guys need parts off that harness, let me know. We'll do that on a case-by-case basis, whatever you need. Okay, so now let's get started. Glasses. Let's go see what's inside this thing. Start by getting the little bulkhead firewall here seal. That's really a nice piece. If you noticed, the pipes on here are for the vacuum that goes out to the recirc doors and the heater control valve. This was bypassed, vacuum source in and then out to the heater control valve. I believe the recirc door one is outside already somewhere. Figure that out. Anyways, that's what that is. So that was bypassed. Let's go on to here. I can't wait to see what's inside it. This is our Easter special, by the way. I couldn't get Nick to wear a bunny suit and hop around, so not much of an Easter special without that. He actually threatened me when I told him that. So that ended that pretty quick. Just a screw there. Looks like another screw in here. I didn't take a lot of pictures because we are going to have this video to use for reassembly. I hope you use it as well. All the screws are a little different, so we'll see that as we go along. Okay, simple. This is underneath the pipe, so when we took the screw out, if we just slide it, we can lift it up and then pull it back. And there's one of the floor ducts. Duct. And there's our other screw for this. Okay. I didn't see that before. This system is made by Nippon Denso. Really nice system. Another duct piece here. And look at this. These seals, these little doors here are sealed with a nice rubber seal in there, so that's not going to have to get replaced. We're just going to clean it. There's 2 screws missing. I don't know why. If we took them off inside the car for some reason, they're not there. So we only have 1 screw holding this cover on. That comes off. Let's see how much this dirt and filth gets in everything. Just nasty. And that's just a light film in an enclosed area there. So Raise, all right, we've got a little bracket holding the heater core in. I'm going to try to slide the heater core out. In some cases you can just pull it right out. If not, we'll leave it till we get the case separated. So this is for all 85.5 and up 944s, and I believe the 968 shouldn't be much different. I just don't see too many 944s on the road anymore, which is a shame. Okay, will that come out? Oh, look at that. And there's Mr. Heater Core. Really nice shape. Now we replace heater cores in a lot of different cars, but never in a 944 or 968. Not even 928 for that matter, but we have done a lot of evaporators in 928s. And if this is an indication, well, the foam is kind of dried out, to be expected. Big hole in there. Not much in there. The doors are all off to the sides of it. If you remember Jeffrey, the guy that gave us all those awesome parts for this project, since we can't get the 944 bodywork done anytime soon, he suggested I work on my 928, which would be a great idea. I'd love to work on my own car for a change. However, the problem with that is we would have another car in pieces. It's already in some pieces. The engine's out and apart somewhere in the shop, but I just can't get another car apart right now. There's just too much going on. So, but one day I'd like to do that. I don't think we're going to get this apart unless we take the servos off. So let's go to the other side. And same thing. I guess we'll pull these ducts off. Is there another screw just like the other one? Okay. Since we're back on this heater matrix plenum climate control unit thing, you might want to take a look back at the other video we did where we demonstrated this on the bench and how it all works. Somewhere up there, or look around here somewhere. Nick's going to put a link up. I don't know when, but it'll pop up that you can go back and take a look at that stuff. And see what we got going on. See how it all works with the temperature controls and the servos. Pretty interesting. Now this is interesting here. Here's this flap is the footwell flap. So our linkage is still connected, but this must connect the other side. So we can adjust the two doors together. We can pull that out. Remember I told you this link piece is broken. That's why I added this to make it work. I'm going to take that off. That's actually, you can still reuse this. But this is what it's supposed to look like. If you can see the serrations in there, you can see where it's sort of has serrations in it that bite this rod, and that allows you to put it in certain positions to adjust, so you can get this thing working primo. Originally, there's a metal clip that snaps on top of it. I'm going to see what's available because I have to replace this one. I know they're out there, but there's one door. You know, my guess is that this was a solid foam piece with a hole in it to seal. So when this is closed, it won't bleed air through, but I bet you that's what that was. So maybe we'll do that. We'll put a new piece of foam on here with a little hole in it so the rod can still move it, but no air will bypass it. So we'll check that out. Let's get rid of this. That's good stuff. As you can probably tell, I don't throw anything away. If I can reuse something, I will. That has a tab I can release that. Alright, well, we don't need the harness on here anymore. This device is our freeze-up protection. If the evaporator gets below freezing, this will turn off the compressor. The system will still run naturally and normal. You wouldn't even know it. You might feel a little sluggishness you'll feel the compressor turn off and turn back on again. When the compressor turns back on, the high pressure is usually still a little bit high, so you'll feel a little lag in the engine right away when it kicks on. And that's because of that high pressure start on the compressor. Normally you don't feel it because the compressor starts at a very low pressure. You don't even feel it come on. He probably won't even edit that out. He'll show you the whole thing. There's a harness. We're going to clean this up real nice too, make it look all pretty and new. Luckily there's nothing wrong with it, it just needs a good cleaning. And I'll rewrap it with some good harness tape so it'll look like new. There's the other door. Pretty neat. Let's see, this is the interior temp sensor. I should say this is the output temp sensor, plenum temp sensor. Kind of lets the device know that it's what the temperature is after it's all been mixed. Well, this piece is, well, let's leave that for now. I'll wait till I get it apart. I thought the seam went up here, but it doesn't. It separates down here somewhere. No, it does come across. So there's one up here too. I might need a little bigger screwdriver and just work that metal plate off. There's one here as well. But that one came off much easier. Okay. So I do have to get that out. Alright, there's a clip that holds the wire inside the box. I was going to try to get it through the hole in the box. Maybe I'll wait till we separate it. I can work it from the inside. This also has to be removed. Maybe I can find some felt too that I can stick down. This is what holds the wiring harness in the back, but it's bridging the two halves, so this has to come off as well. We'll try this one. I'll keep that intact so I can see it when I go back together. Two more screws. Okay. Back to more servos. Looks like a little plastic cover for the linkage. Yeah, more of these little clips. And these screws for the cover. I'm going to leave that one on there. You can see it only rusted on the edges of this. It didn't even rust on the inside there, so we have a pretty good marker where it goes back. But I'm just going to leave the rod. No sense in having too many parts off of it. There you go. These five terminals. Yeah, broke the little piece off the little lock tab, but they should stay on there okay. Two are for the power for the motor, and then we have a variable resistor feedback, so the control panel knows what position this is in. And all these servos look pretty much the same. They mount differently. The brackets are different, but I think the servo itself is the same. Sounds like a Ferrari outside. Remember, this is the little door that kicks open. Well, it's a big door, but this little linkage rod kicks that door open a little bit more when it's on full max AC. All right, servo number 2. Nice, I use the same screws for everything. So if we look at the 2 servos, the servos will be identical. They just changed the bracket for the different position. So that's good. If you need a servo, you can get any one and just change the bracket. Very nice. But I don't think you'll ever need a servo. They just don't fail. Very nice system. Which one is this one? This one is the defroster flap servo. Let's gently pull that off. We'll clean these all up, and believe it or not, I'm actually going to paint these again. Look brand new. Why? I don't know, but it will look new. All right. I can't see this door moving at all. Well, we'll get in there and see what it's doing. We'll remove the thermostat. This pushes into the evaporator, so let's see if we can get that out. That's pretty simple, just slides right up. A little grommet. This goes down into the core to read the temperature, and it's not happy about coming out. I don't want to break it because I'll never get the piece out. There it is. Probably could have used a little bit of lube in there, but so that's it. It just goes down the center of the the evaporator core. You can see the hole right in it. We'll take a look at that when we get it out in hand. All right, servos are off. Looks like we have a bunch of clips. A couple screws here holding an air guide inside there. That's going to have to come off at least one side because that's holding the 2 together. We also have, there are screws in here as well as clips. So let's get all the clips off and see what happens. These are pretty simple clips to deal with. They just lock right in the case. These are just, it's such a well-built unit. Pretty simple to get them off. It's finding them all. Here's another one. This one will just, they will fly. So keep your finger on it. When it pops, they will take off and you'll lose them. Where else? I don't think there's anything down inside here. Nope. Looks like this little, is it 3 pieces? Yeah. All right, I see something here. They give us these nice clips that are easy to take off, and then we get that. What is that? Maybe we can get that too fairly easy. Ah, yeah, not so bad. I'm still waiting for something awful that we have to try to do to get this apart, but so far it's looking good. I just don't know what's coming apart. So now I'll take this screw out. One screw there, and then there's two here. It looks like the evaporator will stay with this part because it's bolted down. I guess just maybe just over here. We'll see. A little exploratory surgery here. We're up to 919 subscribers. We are so close to 1,000. Very exciting. You guys are the best. Just staying with us through all our little trials and tribulations is much appreciated. Very much so. Okay, this bracket actually... oh, there's another clip. This is actually right in the split here, so let me see what's going on with this. We're going to clean this up with Spray 9. I don't know if you haven't heard of Spray 9. It's a pretty nice cleaner. Disinfectant, smells great, really does a nice job. I'm not sponsored by them at all. They don't sponsor me. It's just a great product. You guys should try it out. Okay, here are the two. There's another bolt here. Okay, this bolt here, and in this corner, holding the evaporator to the side of the case. That's what it looks like anyways. These are holding a air guide, it looks like, inside the box. Screws here. I'll show you these screws. These are just shorter versions of what looks like is the ones holding the servo. Now I took that out because it bridges the two sides. And another clip. Boy, they're everywhere. Oh, another one. How did I miss that one? Uh-oh, look at that. Oh, I see this clip on either side for the screw, speed clip. This comes up. There must be some kind of a bead in there. Here we go. Oh, okay. Okay, look at this. The evaporator is bolted in this side of the case and this side of the case. So we're going to take the top off. It's coming apart in a very unique way. Okay. So I'm going to have to at least unbolt the evaporator. Okay, we have the tape here holding that. Our insulation tape around the expansion valve. This you can buy in bulk at an automotive shop. We have some here we use. So, oh, there's also a seal that I just ripped inside there. See that? There's a gasket as well as the tape. The tape is going around it, but there is a foam gasket. So be careful of that. Ah, there we go. The big reveal. So that's that half, and all that time I was also taking this apart. I don't see anything else holding it. No, it's coming. That's the air guide that we had to take off with the 2 screw holes. Yep. Oh, okay. This, I didn't catch this. This is a spring for one of the doors. That has to come off because that shaft down inside there is the door pivot. So let's see. Ooh. There has to be one problem, doesn't there? Let's see. Maybe I'll try this side and go the other way with it because that screw's not happy about coming out. Neither is this one. This has a dot on it which tells me it's a posi drive. I don't have a posi drive screwdriver, believe it or not. At least not in screwdriver form. Okay, so that slides over the shaft and then it's just held in place with the screw. Now the shaft should come out. Should come out. Go this way. There we go. Now I had mentioned refoaming these doors, but well, this one's a lot of lint on it and it's very dirty. But I wanted to refoam them because of the sealing surface. But if you look at these, they seal just fine. Even though I want to change this, it's not because of sealing. It's all still intact. So that one's okay. Oops. This one's okay. This one's sealing okay. Even though it's disgustingly dirty, it is sealing okay. So some of our issues with the is also this little nut plate that goes in. Don't want to lose that. Some of our issues with air bleeding off to the windshield may be due to a servo adjustment. So we'll get all that calibrated before we put it back in. In the meantime, well, here's some foam. I guess this one, this is the defroster one. This used to have foam on it. There's not much left. It's just glue. So that must have had a good foam, and that's where it would seal in here. So I think that was our problem. Okay, that makes more sense. So we could put some fresh foam here. It looks like it covered the entire thing. Maybe it extended past a millimeter or so and would seal really nice on this edge. And of course our seal to the body, all that has to be replaced. So that's the case. Okay. Now, our evaporator core. Now remember, you're breathing the air that comes through this. And I don't think it's held in any other way. Now I'm not going to replace this evaporator. Wow. Yeesh. Now I know this car sat for a while, but I'm willing to bet that your evaporator core looks a lot like this. This is just years and years of use. And look at how nice. Well built. All right. That's it. We're going to clean this up. I'll get a fin comb, and I have one. We'll just straighten these out real nice. Clean this up with spray nine. It'll disinfect it. It'll clean the aluminum. We'll clean the insulation. There's some insulation in here. Make sure the drain hole is clear where the water condensate comes out. Looks like I ripped that a little bit coming out. It'll be okay. And that's it. There's all our plastic parts. Not too hard to take apart. Well, didn't look that bad, right? This, let me see. The seal is still in here. The grommet is still in here for the air temp sensor. I'll mess with that to get it out. I don't think it's going to be that difficult. I'll also get this screw out and remove all of this so we can clean everything up. We want to find some good foam, and I'll duplicate what we have here. This is really dirty, and eventually it might fall apart. I should change it. I think we're going to change that. So we'll refoam everything, recalibrate the servos, clean everything, and get this ready to go back in. Next week, we'll start the cleaning process and maybe get the evaporator set back in. We'll clean the boxes and maybe get a couple pieces put back together. In the meantime, I'm going to try to find a good foam for this that nice and sticky but dense. I'm going to get the new plastic bits for the servos. The one that really only breaks that I've ever seen break is the one at the heater control for the blend door. But I think I'm going to replace them all if I can get them. They should be readily available. So that's it. We know the servos work. We tested it. Take a look around somewhere for that link. I don't know where it is, but it's going to be there. Should be there. If you don't see it, call Nick. I'll give you his number if you need it. And he'll get that link up there so you can see how all this worked before we took it apart. It's really cool. And then when we put it back together, you can watch it again, only maybe we'll do it in real time with everything nice and fresh and brand new again. But until then, until next week, have a great Easter. That's tomorrow. This is Saturday, right? The 8th, I think. 919 subscribers. Let's try to get it to 1,000 as soon as we can. I so appreciate it. We still have a disaster in the yard here with parking. I'll be here probably working tomorrow too to get some of these cars out of here. And that's it. Subscribe, like the videos. It helps us a lot. And get the notifications so you don't miss one of them. Share them with your friends and say, this guy needs help. We got Patreon, and we also, well, that's coming. It's almost up. So again, call Nick. And what's the other one? GoFundMe for the body shop for that car. I know it's lame, but if we can do anything to get this thing in the body shop, it's not for the owner of the car, it's for us to keep this project moving forward. Because we want to go to the body shop and show you updates and how they're going to fix all that crazy rust in that car. Jeff, the guy that's going to be doing the work, says there shouldn't be a problem. We'll probably get another piece of a car for it. To cut out and put in all new. We're not sure what he's going to do yet to make that work. But for now, we'll see you next week, and thanks for watching. Thank you very much.